Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. My name is Mr. Maxwell, and welcome back to another side quest about video games. We had another week off.
Yes.
Because there was nothing.
It was a very slow week.
There was nothing. But this week there's some stuff.
Yes.
There's some stuff. We've been talking about Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Since it's me with my rose tinted glasses on, hoping that the game was going to be good, and you with the more, this game's going to be rubbish.
Yes, because as I've said, I saw no actual reason for it to exist other than to jump onto the live service bandwagon. And the entire premise made no sense for the actual source material they were using. Hence, basically, we're going to make a Suicide Squad looter shooter.
Yeah. To
anyone with any knowledge of the cast role of Suicide Squad members and former Suicide Squad members, you realise how small of an actual roster you could put in and make work.
Mm-hmm. But due to the underperformance, shall we say, of Suicide Squad, unfortunately Rocksteady has been hit by layoffs.
There's a shock.
Which is not a surprise at all, due to just how bad that game has done.
Yeah.
What was it?
It was flawed from the very beginning. It was a looter shooter made by a team that has never made a looter shooter. That is so far removed from the tools and expertise that they have. Now, don't get me wrong. That's not necessarily that it was doomed to failure because of that. Because you just have to look at, sadly, the now gone Tango Games, who went from making the horror games and other stuff, and then made Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
It is possible for developers to go from one type to another, but nothing in the entire promotion or the
everything about
production,
everything about Suicide Squad is wrong.
Yeah,
bar the animation and the voice acting.
The voice acting and the animation is actually really, really good.
Which is why this is kind of sad, because you look at the animation and
people put effort in.
There
were people who tried to make this
game good.
Good. They tried to make it, but we keep like the saying goes, you can only polish a turd so much.
Yeah.
You can make it a really nice looking turd. It's still a turd.
So the company's QA department has seen its size almost cut in half over the past month, from 33 team members to 15, with poor sales of Suicide Squad directly cited as the reason for its restructuring. The job losses extend outside of QA too. One staff member posted publicly on social media over the weekend revealed that they'd been told they were being made redundant in the middle of their paternity leave. Wow, that's not a good look.
Unionize. Yeah. This is why you need unions. This very reason. The very fact that you decided to sack.
So we need to let people go. So who should it be? You know that guy who's that one that's out because they've got a kid now. So they
have extra responsibilities and extra financial gain.
Let's get rid of that guy.
Yeah, let's fire that guy.
Is it paternity? Paternity's the dad,
yes.
Isn't it? And maternity's the mum.
Yes.
Yeah. I always get them mixed up.
It's the whole thing it's the same sort of patriarchy.
Yeah.
Patriarchy is male, matriarchy is female.
Ah, right. Yes. Okay. Eurogamer also contacted Suicide Squad publisher Warner Brothers for comment, but but so far not received a response.
I guarantee the head honchos at that made those decisions have not looked at their giant paychecks once and gone, maybe I should cut back on that.
Rocksteady staff, who requested to remain anonymous, told Eurogamer that the loss of so many roles in the developer's QA department, including team members with specialised knowledge, would leave their remaining colleagues' shoulders with more work. Well, yeah. There has also been an acknowledgement by Rocksteady senior management that product quality will now suffer as a result. Did you not see your last product?
This is the whole thing of like the false economy that the gaming industry is in at the moment. This false economy of bullshit number needs to continue going up. And if it doesn't go up, we need to sack a whole bunch of people. And then eventually, it's basically the snake biting its own tail. Because eventually it starts... It's in order to make more profit, to consume more money, it's now eating its own staff to the point where eventually you will not have a viable staff workforce to actually make the game that will actually get you profit, because you're just constantly firing them. They no longer get the time or training to gain the skills needed to be able to work these arbitrarily time exhaustive projects that you put in that have to have this stupid level of realistic photorealism.
Yeah.
That the graphics have to be so fucking far high, and with these asinine fucking decisions made by shareholders and managers who don't have a fucking clue about what they're talking about. They just go, "Oh, this is a good idea. I think it's a good idea. I want this in the game." You want to put in a giant sword in a shooter game that has no melee. Yes, I want this giant sword because I saw it on this poster and I thought it was really cool. And surely you can make this work in a game. We launch in 2 weeks. And you want us to make an entire melee system now. Yeah, you could do that in 2 weeks, can't you? I know that's not necessarily exactly what happens, but it feels like it at times. It wouldn't
surprise me that has actually happened.
It feels like it has. It feels like it happens way too often. I feel sorry for the people who actually have to take these decisions. Not to take decisions, but like who receive these decisions from higher up, knowing that they somehow have to implement it.
Yes.
In an unrealistic time frame, with unrealistic expectations of how it's going to work, and then get the blame when inevitably the obviously honest to God only outcome comes out. The mechanic that the idiot boss that wanted it doesn't work, and is widely criticized, and they won't get the boss won't get it'll be the person that's tried to implement it that will get all the crap shit of them. This is why you need unions, people, because unfortunately, despite the fact that part of a manager's role is to maintain and look after the health and well-being of their staff, the AAA game industry believes that what staff are not human. They are just serfs that have come in to do the Lord's bidding, that they can then just get rid and replace whenever the fuck they want.
Yes.
And now we're starting to get into the real problems of that sort of mindset, because the people that are coming in are not lasting long to actually be good at doing what they're doing, and then letting go again.
Oh well.
I mean, it sucks for a studio as prestigious as Rocksteady, but
we all knew this was coming.
Oh yeah,
like this isn't like a show. Oh my god, they're letting people go sort of thing.
This is not a shot. This is not a Tango Games moment where we were like, "What the fuck are you doing, you fucking idiots?"
This was like, you're. What was there? I think it was like nearly 50% down.
Yeah, you failed to make your money on this game.
Yeah, like a humongous amount of money.
Yeah,
on this game.
I mean, I would argue, why the fuck did Warner Bros. Invest so much money in this game? I mean,
because
I know
Warner
why.
Bros. are dumb.
I know why. They wanted to jump on the live service bandwagon, and they thought the best thing to do was make a shooter with a franchise that has been known for its superhero combat.
Yeah. Right, moving on. We have had 2 releases this past week. Both of them have bombed so hard that I felt like we need to talk about both of them.
Yes.
Because both of them are bombed for completely different reasons. Yes. Concord is the worst, because Concord had the most fanfare and all that sort of stuff. So Concord is the worst bomb.
Probably the bigger
and
budget.
has the bigger budget. So it is the worst bomb. But the other game, which is called Dustborn, is also another game that, like, when you look at it, you go, yeah, this was a bad idea. Like from the very start, it is just.
I'm trying to remember what was Dustborn.
Dustborn is the one. It's basically like it's a Telltale's game, kind of, but you've the words that you use have like a power to them.
Right. That's a cool concept.
It's a cool concept. It's just
not well executed.
But we'll talk about Concord first, then we'll go on to Dustborn, because Dustborn's problem is a little bit more complicated than what Concord's is.
Yeah.
Concord's is an easy thing that everybody can see.
It's a live service that doesn't do anything new. That
So PlayStation's Concord did not break 700 players on Steam on launch day, which is not good for I think they put 20 million into this game.
Probably more than that, but again, probably Concord also is another one of the games that you have to have a PlayStation Network even on Steam to be able to actually play it, which is like, for the love of fucking God.
Probably that might be part of the problem.
It probably is part of the problem, but again, the whole
So, PlayStation's Concord, a game reportedly in the works for 8 years since Overwatch launched, which is no coincidence, has launched with under 700 concurrent players on Steam. It's such a low figure, I'm generally trying to figure out if something is technically wrong with the numbers here, but that does not seem to be the case. The entire situation is bizarre. Monitoring the game's performance on launch day, I saw it peak at 697. Players a couple of hours, 697 players a couple of hours after launch. While I didn't think it would positively skyrocket after the US got home from work and school across its time zones, it should have gone up to some extent. It actually went down. At 10 p.m, the concurrent players was at 615.
So here's my question, because I know there was some promotion for Concord, but there's not been a lot from what I've seen. I could be just, the lucky person that's missed everything. But I mean, there was the teaser trailer. There was the reveal trailer.
Which gave me the wrong impression of the game.
Then there was the reveal trailer.
Then there was the reveal trailer, which then just the hype for that game just dropped.
And
I do remember like some sizzling around it, like people going, "Oh,
wonder what it is."
I wonder what it is. It looks kind of cool. It's got like a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe to it. So and then
they announced it was a.
They showed off the gameplay as a hero shooter, and literally I've never seen something drop so fast in my life.
Yeah.
Like I think the entire world just literally went.
There's quite a few like short YouTube shorts, and I think I'll quote Jesse Cox because he was watching it with them, and he said, "You know what? They turn around if they call this if this is a looter shooter, I'm just done." And lo and behold, when they cut to
a hero shooter, if this is a hero shooter,
it's a 6v. It's a what was it? A 5v5 or 6v6 hero shooter? I was like, he just went, "Why are you making these games? Who wants them?" And I think that's actually true. The 6v, unless you have something like Marvel Rivals with something to actually hook people in, and new IP 6v6 hero shooter is not going to do well because, people are like, they're either burned by Overwatch, or they have Overwatch, and now they've got Marvel Rivals coming around the corner,
and that's free.
And that's going to be free to play. But like I say, also, the difference is like Marvel Rivals. They've got like they've got the Marvels cast, the Marvel cast of Marvel Comics, Doctor Strange, and all that. And they've got so many, and also their takes on some of those characters have been really interesting. Like Old Man Magneto looks fucking fantastic. It looks amazing.
The thing with Marvel Rivals, if you think about it, there's less stress on the dev team, in a sense, because they don't have to make up powers.
No, they just have to figure out.
They just have to figure out which heroes they can get and how to use their powers in the game.
Yeah, which is a different is a different challenge. It's not going to be easy for certain characters.
I'm not saying it's easier.
I'm just saying but they don't have to make it up from the ground up. They already have a template to work with. They just have to figure out how to implement
the other thing Marvel Rivals has is, one, its art style is very good.
Yeah.
Like, it's very eye-catching, and it looks... Yeah. The character designs... Oh, you said Old Man Magneto looks badass.
Yeah, he looks amazing.
Everybody in that game looks cool.
They've gone for the right Venom. The bulky, buff... Like, there were muscles that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Venom.
So everybody looks cool, and everybody looks like... You look at them and you go, I wouldn't mind. I mean, yeah, you could end up meaning Star-Lord, but because everybody else looks just as cool, because of that, you might branch out and go somewhere else.
Storm.
What hero shooters need to do is go the way of fighting games. Like, what they need to do is go, right, every character has to look cool.
Yes.
Right? Because hero shooters, it's the characters that are going to draw in.
Yes.
It's not the, it is not the gameplay. It is
literally like fighting games. Like, if you ask the average person, there's going to be the pro scene where they go, oh no, this type of fighting style is what drew me to this character. Yeah. For the vast majority of people, it is the way the character is designed and the way they look. That first draws them. It's why Cammy is an extremely popular character, and I don't mean about the whole
Yuri.
Yuri
is a badass character.
Oh my god, my girl Yuri.
Can
I play Yuri? No. Is she my favourite character, and I will try to bloody learn her as best as possible? Fuck yes, because damn god, she is just fire.
Armor King.
Yeah, for you, Armor King.
Tekken... No, the last Tekken. Tekken 7. His design in that game is mint.
Yeah.
It's so good. But yeah, the hero shooters... Like, the thing that brought people to Overwatch was the characters. It wasn't the gameplay.
No.
People saw the characters and went, oh, that's really cool, let's give it a go. And then they liked it. And... If you look at the characters...
The cast of...
in this game...
Yeah, the cast of...
None of them are good. None of them are good. Like, you do not want to be... Who wants to be a walking fucking...
Fridge.
Water fridge. Whatever the fuck that thing is. It's... Like, one of the characters is a fucking walking mushroom. And not even a cool one. Like, out of Battleborn. You know those weird mushrooms that you could get?
Yeah.
Those weird... they don't even look like that. They just look like really thin people with a mushroom thing on their head.
I think this is the thing that I like. I look at like Concord and go,
and it's a shame.
Yeah, I go. You could have just tried to do Battleborn. You should just do Battleborn.
They could have.
They could have gone the Battleborn route. And not have the fucking gearbox thing of like, we're gonna go up against Overwatch. No, you fucking idiots! It's a completely different game.
Even if they had done that, because the really sad thing about Concord is that, like, you look at the game, and you can tell that the people who've made this game
have put effort into
have actually genuinely put effort into it, right? Like, because the animation is pretty good. Like, the cutscenes that they've made, they're all really good. The voice acting's really good. The actual gameplay is actually quite smooth. It's not awful in a situation. It's just boring.
Yeah.
Right.
I've heard people say it's also quite slow.
It is. That's. I would put that in with, like, boring and slow.
There's not a lot, and also a lot of people saying there's not a lot of originality.
There isn't. There's not a lot of originality in it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just their take on it just isn't, like, they haven't, like, say there's the capture the point.
Yeah.
Right. There's the capture the point things, but there's nothing in there that makes it any different from, like, Overwatches or
Call of Duties,
or even a Call of Duty capture the point. There's nothing there. It just feels like every game mode is literally your paint by numbers game mode. There's nothing to, like, be like, oh yeah, this is a really good mode. I like this mode. Mm-hmm. Like, Call of Duty brings sabotage back. Anyway,
God, I love that mode. That mode was just my jam. I love it.
That was so stressful as well, but still.
It was, but I've realised I'm a person that does actually enjoy the longer run games. That's why I enjoyed Battlefield for so long.
And when you it is literally when you actually get to the point of like of the character designs, of like even the actual maps, like they're very square
by the numbers.
Like there's a lot of grey, which is very weird for a space game.
Yeah, because you get free license to make it really colourful.
Or just do whatever you want with it. Yeah. Just, like, why have you've picked grey? Why? Like, I can kind of understand in the sense of like if the world is grey, right? Your characters, the characters are a lot of them have like bright colours on them, and stuff like that. They kind of pop out. Mm-hmm. So I can kind of understand in that way, but still, like, if your maps are really boring to look at, like, and then we get to the character design, and this falls down so bad. Like there's nobody that actually looks good. Like you can't.
I like the design for the fireball lass.
No.
But it.
The thing is, right? Okay. I like her design, but then I remember that it's fucking Lilith from Diablo. It's literally the same thing. The only thing she's missing is the horns, or the big gorilla-looking dude. He's like blue and
the Star Child.
Yeah,
the one he's basically like he can tank up and.
He just looks like Ron Perlman.
Yeah, he does.
As Hellboy.
I keep expecting him to start bringing out Hellboy quotes, and I look around and go, "Where's his giant gun?"
Yeah, and I looked at him and I was just thought, isn't that Ron Perlman?
I mean, I think is it Ron Perlman that plays is his voice actor?
No, I don't think so.
Either way, it's like
it's just
there's nothing in the game that actually grabs your attention, and that's the biggest. I mean, like you say, the biggest sin it can be is boring. Yeah, unfortunately, that's what it is.
The sad part is that like this is a new IP, and with this dropping off as bad as it did, this gives the AAA gaming industry
because they're not gonna
more credence to just stick with what they are.
Yeah, because they're not gonna look at it and go, well, people don't want hero shooters.
No,
what they're looking at it and go, oh, but people don't want new IPs. It's like, no, you fucking idiots. You disconnected from the fucking world, brains in a jar. What we want is good games. That's all we want.
Because we do want, like, look, it's not that we don't want hero shooters, because, like, people do. Like we've just been gassing up Marvel Rivals. There's Deadlock that's coming out, which is Valve's.
Which is a MOBA. It's a third person.
It's a
third person action MOBA.
MOBA, yeah, with guns instead of Smite's.
Smite's melee.
So yeah, hero shooters are not like. People like hero shooters. It's not. That's not the problem. The problem is that like it's just oversaturated, and a lot of them are just.
It's oversaturated, and I do feel there is a lot of burnout on live services.
I was going to say like the live it's the live service part of hero shooters that people are kind of like, which is why Marvel. It generally seems like Marvel are trying to do everything that they can to like freshen up a little bit with them going, oh yeah, everything's going to be free. Yeah. The only thing that is going to be monetized will be skins and all that sort of stuff.
Which has its issues because there is, Fortnite. There is a whole problem with Fortnite. Those who have the default skins get singled out and all that.
The thing is, that's kids.
Oh yeah,
that is a kids thing.
I know.
And at the end of the day, like.
Kids will bully kids for the stupidest reasons.
You've got a weird.
My point being is if they need is the usual argument I have with customization. If you give me a load of customizational options, I will pay you for more customizational options.
I would argue in this
regards
sense.
to the things against that is obviously they have to pay for the license and they have to fund that some way. And if it's not through the characters,
for the live service model, if it's a free to play game, like if your game's good, and then you're going to give me customizations which I can pay for depending on what it is
and how much,
fine.
Because if you decide to go with the Overwatch shop,
I'm fine. I'm fine with that because I like the game. It's free to play.
I'm just saying, like I'm paying for cosmetics. It's fine, but if you decide to charge the amount that Overwatch charges for, no, fuck off, go away.
Look at Path of Exile.
Yes.
That did the same thing. Warframe does the same, although Warframe's pricing is wow.
I mean, it can be worse.
The only difference with Warframe is I can actually grind to get that stuff.
Yes.
If I want to put the work into it. Overwatch was like, no. Oh, you run this really cool skin? No, there's absolutely no way you can grind for it because you can't get the money. You can't get the coins anymore from things or anything like that.
Yeah.
No, you can't grind for it anymore. No, shame. Looks like you're gonna have to give me that $20 for that helmet.
That single item. That single customizable item.
But in Concord's thing, it's just that's not to say that somewhere down the line, with it being a live service, they might be able to pull this one back. Because like I said, there's clearly a lot of love.
There's a lot of love from the developers. They have put a lot of time and effort into it.
They just need to look at. I think what they just need to do is just go back to the drawing board a little bit and just think, because it's a hero shooter, so the core gameplay, as long as the core gameplay works, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Which, by the looks of things, what I've seen a lot of people say is like, yeah, it's okay. It's not. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but no one's asking it to reinvent the wheel.
No.
What I think they need to do is maybe look at the character design, and I know it will take them a while, but they need to do something to make the characters like
more interesting.
Like, what is the deal with the woman? If it's a woman, I have no fucking idea.
In full armor.
No, in the fucking duffel coat.
Oh, that one. I don't know.
Why did you look at May from Overwatch and think, you know what we need to do? We needed her, but from Wish. Why did you...
Or just basically, let's just, like... I think they were trying to go for a more realistic presentation, but you're a hero shooter.
No. That's... Okay, we're on a realistic... Okay, so why is she wearing mittens with a duffel coat?
I know, but I'm saying you're a hero shooter set in space. I think realism is the least of anyone's problems if you decided on character design.
I think especially with character design, like I think if you look at a lot of them and you look at them and you go, that stuff went out of fashion like in the 80s. Like, and I know there's the whole like retro thing that's coming back, but if you know it's not the fashion that's coming back.
No,
it's the music and kind of like the movie scene.
Yeah, the movie, the way the movies are presented.
Yeah, movies are
produced. Not produced, but the way the movies, like the actual cinematography. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. So they've gone with. Actually, when you've mentioned that, it does actually have, like, the style does have a whole like sci-fi 80s feel to it,
which isn't bad. Like, I think that's a really cool thing.
Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
That was basically the kind of sci-fi.
It's like you've looked at all the really bad looking stuff from the 80s and gone, that's what we want. We want that in our game. Instead of looking at the stuff that like I don't know, like you couldn't, if we're gonna go 80s, you couldn't have found like, I don't know, like a young Madonna picture and base somebody off that design, or fucking give us a John McClane looking dude.
Yeah, maybe, but they. I don't know. There would have been a reason why for the design aesthetic of the entire cast to be like.
Oh, that. I know that. I understand, but at the same time, like I said,
like I said, the execution of it has. You look at them, has not hit the mark. It's not resonated with anyone.
You look at them, and like for me, like all that stuff went way out of fashion when I was a kid. Like before I was a kid.
Yeah.
And you just think of it like, wow, you have gone way, way out of the box. Like, you've gone so far out of the box for your character design in this one that you've, like, missed the ledge and just, you've Wile E. Coyote yourself off to the side.
Yeah.
Right? So you got that. And like I've said, like we were saying before, the game... It doesn't bring anything new. There's nothing new.
There's no characters that actually like grab your attention, and the gameplay doesn't grab your attention. And so and the fact that they basically burst all interest. They ruined all interest in the game when they announced, it's a hero shooter. It's a hero shooter live service, and like it was the same sort of, not as much of a deflation because there was a lot of most of it was just curiosity,
Yeah.
people looking at it, instead of the Suicide Squad game where people were like seriously excited for like a 4-player co-op Arkham game. And then to be told, oh yeah, it's a looter shooter. Like, that disappointment was palpable. The entire Arkham fan base just went, what?
I generally thought when they showed off the trailers for this game, because it was the second one, where they actually showed gameplay.
Yeah.
After that big lengthy cinematic of them like robbing somewhere.
Yeah.
I generally thought watching that, I was like, oh, because I thought it was going to be like a hero shooter.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get characters that we had to pick and they had abilities.
Yeah.
That's what I thought we were getting. But I thought we were getting like a hero shooter / payday heist game.
It was the impression he gave off.
That's what I thought we were going to get. I thought, well, this looks interesting. This could be interesting if this is what I think it is, because this is like, I don't think we have anything like that right now.
No, I mean technically Payday 2, because we're not talking about Payday 3. Payday 2, you do have characters that you can pick. I mean, hell, John Wick's one of them. And you have classes, so it's like old school type of like classes of like, you pick your character and you pick the class they're going to be to set up to do this heist. And it's not like a character has a set class with a set abilities like Siege, sort of thing. But yeah, we don't actually have a heist game. There was one that was. We've had the teaser trailer. And I've not heard anything since. But it was one of those where it's like multiple teams are trying to heist it instead of just like the Payday.
Oh yeah, that was the what the fuck was that called? Because that was on one of the State of Plays or something.
Yeah, it was a few years ago, at least a year ago, I think now. Anyway, yeah, and to be honest, I'm surprised no one's tried to do Payday hero shooter. Basically, I'm like, surely that's a.
I would be down for that. I would be down.
Surely those two go together. Like, you have characters that primarily deal with stealth things and try to do the mission stealthily, and then hero characters that are all about, they're like, we're just storming this place and we're robbing it.
Yeah. And then you've got characters who are good at hacking, so they're good. Yeah. They're good for they'll open the vault quicker.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Exactly.
So you have to build your team. In all four of you, all four players, or 5, 6, however many.
I wonder if it's because in those situations you have to have a whole lot of like scripting and bot making and.
Oh yeah, most likely. Like,
it is a lot harder.
I can imagine it being an incredibly hard game to make. Incredibly hard, but like, I think that type of game would sell.
Yeah, it probably will if someone decided to make it. And it works.
And it's not like Sony don't have the money to do it.
Yeah.
But anyway. So Concord has flatlined on release, just due to it being
bland.
A by the numbers
hero shooter that is extremely bland.
Yeah, unfortunately it just doesn't offer anything new.
And again, it doesn't have anything
there's nothing eye-catching about it.
No, I mean, yes, you will get people playing it because some people are like so zoned into hero shooters that that's their jam, and they will try this, and maybe they will find a character or a gameplay style mode that they'll like. But
now moving on to Dustborn,
who
has a completely different
problem.
So have you seen any of the news floating around?
I've heard people say it's not done well. And that's it, because Dustborn, when I've seen the trailers and that for it, I was like, okay, this is not a game for me.
Yeah.
It can, good luck to it. I wish it well, but it is clearly not my type of game.
So basically, so remember when the word woke first showed up, and basically what the actual word meant? Not what it means now.
Which is basically criticism of anything you don't like.
Yeah, which is basically anything that has like, there's a gay character. It's woke. No,
it offers pronouns. Oh, it's woke.
When woke first showed up, what it actually meant, which was like when something is way over politicized and because they've put too much politics into the thing that they've made, it literally just destroyed whatever it was that they made.
Yeah, it basically it basically ruins the exact actual concept of the reason why they put it in the first place.
This is the literal definition of that word. Like, good. I have seen people play this. I have seen people write about it. I have seen people talk about this game. Like, mainly because the things that I watch I watch anything and everything, and people will talk about anything and everything. I like putting things on when I'm doing something.
Yeah.
And I'm quite good at being able to do something and listen.
Multitask.
At the same time.
Yeah,
I think that's due to...
I used to be able to do
I think that's due to the fact that, like, even though I don't do it now, I used to do a lot of, like, baking and cooking. When after school, I learned to be a baker. So, and being able to listen to people in the same room as you, as well as you doing your job, is important. But anyway, back to this. There are things in this game that it's just like, you look at it and you just go, what the fuck?
It shoehorns in stuff that does not feel like an actual conversation.
Right, yeah. There is a bit in the game where two cops are looking for a suspect, right? And the suspect is black. Right. So you already know where this is going. Right? You already know where this is going.
Yeah, it's going to be sort of like racial profiling and all that sort of stuff.
Right? The thing is, so the cop talks to the main character, who is you, and the cop basically all he does is describe the character, the suspect that he's looking for. He doesn't say anything in a negative tone. He doesn't like...
Basically, he goes the usual thing of this, we're looking for a black gentleman, age roughly around about 25 to 30, this height, this build.
So there's this thing of it's like a trigger. Right? And the character that you play, who, by the way, is racist, egotistical, anything bad that you can think a person could be, this character is, right? Hands down. So she has a prejudice against this robot character for no apparent reason. Just doesn't like robots because robots.
Okay.
Right. So anyway, so
in other words, the main character that you're playing as is very hard to like as well.
Yes.
That's not good.
There's this trigger comes up, right? And now as I thought it was like a Telltale game, so there's multiple options. You cannot pick anything other than the trigger.
What?
You have to get angry at this cop because he said the word black.
What?
To which then the main character goes to berate the cop as a racist.
But it's descriptive.
Yeah, like I said, he doesn't say he has no negative.
This is the whole thing about like because before woke there was the whole thing about political correctness. And I remember growing up in high school about this and all that, and in college and all that. And I remember people going on about this and saying, "Oh, you can't call a blackboard because it's derogatory." And I'm like, wait, what's wrong with the word black?
Yeah.
What is literally wrong with the word? There is not, like, the word black is a word. It's a descriptive word of a colour.
Yeah.
Now, before any keyboard warriors get involved, I'm not on about the Portuguese word for black. I understand. I know exactly the translation, and I'm not Portuguese, so I'm not going to say it. And also, I'm not getting involved in that because that is a conversation that I have no concept of, so therefore, fuck off. But my whole understanding is, like, if you are making a description of a person to their skin colour is a narrowing down to be able to identify the person, and it's so simple of find this person in a crowd. Simple thing. Like, there's nothing wrong with that as a description, and I don't like it when they, especially when they go on about like trying to move every form of the word.
What else is there? Oh, there are bits in the game where basically so there are two extra characters. Basically, you're a punk rock band. Basically the premise is that you're a punk rock band. You've snuck into like a government facility I don't think it's like one of those big cyber ones or a military base. It's like you snuck into a facility, you've nicked some documents that you're not supposed to have, and you're doing a runner to Nova Scotia or somewhere like that.
Right. Okay.
So there are two other characters. There's two more characters. One is a Muslim,
right,
who is sex obsessed, so much so that it's like a common joke between the whole thing.
Okay.
Which is fine, not a problem. That's fine. The other one is
we grew up in the 90s. That's a nothing.
There is a Christian kid.
Okay.
A Christian boy. Right. So obviously the Muslim lass, she obviously prays. Is it?
Yeah.
They pray to
Mecca.
Yeah,
there are certain times a day that they have to pray.
Yeah, and they have to look east.
It has to be. I believe it has to be, and I could be wrong here, so I apologize if I do get it wrong. But I believe it has to be they're facing Mecca.
Yeah.
Or facing a certain site in like their whole holy site.
Right? So that happens, which by the way is kind of cool. I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing to put in, like a religious thing. But the Christian boy also prays. Right? And you can bully, like straight up bully the Christian kid for praying.
But
right? So
there's a lack of consistency here.
Yes. Yeah. Right? And later on in the game, so because you can get like power-ups. One of them is discourse. So you can spread basically fake news throughout a crowd and get people like banned.
Oh, great.
And stuff like that. This is all in game. I'm not making any of this up.
Great.
This is all absolute nonsense.
Who thought this was a good idea?
Yeah, right. So you can do that. You can engage in cancel culture. This game is so ridiculously political in what it does. Like, I generally thought that this was like, you know, those idiot right wingers, that like do things that they say left wingers do, but they do it over the top and all that sort of shit. Like the Lady Ballers bollocks thing that came out, awful movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was that. No.
They actually mean it.
No, these are people that actually genuinely think that you should do cancel culture and spread fake news about people and all this shit just for disagreeing with you.
Do they not know that there should be consequences for one's actions? Like,
no. Oh, here's another thing. The main character, which by the way you do not unless you've read the character bio, like at the beginning of the game, to which nobody does because everybody just wants to get into the game.
Yeah.
Right. Unless you read that specifically, the main character is 4 months pregnant. She does not look 4 months pregnant.
Okay. I mean, we've known people who have been pregnant. And
yes, I know. So, I know. But come on. You've got a point here where you could have represented pregnant women.
Also, you know, does she keep? Is it one of these that's a shock on the band members, or do the band members supposedly know as well?
I don't think the band members know.
Okay.
We've not actually talked about. I've not seen anybody actually talk about it. I've just heard people. Well, not heard. Yeah, I've just seen people going like, she's supposed to be 4 months pregnant. The thing is, it's not only that. It's like you're 4 months pregnant. You know you're 4 months pregnant, right? Mm-hmm. So you're gonna do things to look after yourself. This character does not do that.
I mean, there are some people that don't. I mean, also this is already a character that I probably would not like anyway. And
it's just like the whole thing. Like this is the personification of letting your politics let it bleed far too much into.
I wouldn't even class it as your politics. I would just class it as your self-insert of a very terrible person.
No, most likely, but. You're still letting your politics infect your product, and unfortunately the usual bollocks is coming out now with Dustborn of people who are coming out and being like, oh, it's all woke shit, and this is why the left are terrible, and this that and the other. It's just like, no,
this is a very poor and very bad character design. It's a very bad character made.
It is a terrible game.
Yeah,
It was just a terrible game.
And before, first things first, right? Let's all be honest. Woke now is just a poor, lazy criticism that has no founding on anything anymore. Like, it's been burnt to death. It has been used. It is now shriveled, buried in 6 feet under, and has no meaning whatsoever. And before anyone else says, I don't want politics in my game, Metal Gear Solid, the Metal Gear Solid trilogy is one of the biggest anti-war game series going. It is all that game has political philosophy baked into it to its very core about how soldiers only do what they're told. They don't, they fight for the country and not themselves, and all that sort of stuff. And how war is an absolute terrible thing that is often fought by people who have not had no impact or actual decision making process in the actual causes for the war and all that sort of stuff. Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3, and 4 are highly political, but it is not fun. It is not like, how do I put it? It is a core process of the story, but it doesn't. But it's told in a way that you actually like the characters. You actually get to know the characters, and you have understandable reasoning for why and what they do.
It doesn't, even though it has the political themes and all that sort of stuff. It doesn't. Number one, it doesn't treat you like you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Right. That's the main thing. It doesn't treat you like you don't know anything of what's going on, even if it is a Hideo Kojima game, and most of the time you don't know what's going on because
it's a Hideo Kojima. The thing is, like, the key points of it does actually, for the stuff that it actually needs to explain to make sense, it does.
The other thing is, the stuff that it explains, like, it's not coming at you and being like, oh, you like guns, you're a horrible person. Oh, you want free healthcare, you're a terrible person. It does not doing that. It's literally just saying, this is war, this is what happens, and this is bad.
Yeah.
And this is why it's bad. Right? It's not just picking things out of thin air and being like, you're a shitty person if you agree with any of this.
Yeah.
Like, it's just showing you facts about things and then putting it
into the context of a story.
Into a context of a story, and putting robots and showing the frailty of AI if we're not careful and stuff like that. It's even though it is political, it's not being like, you're an idiot if you don't understand this. You're an idiot if you disagree.
You're a nasty person if you don't agree with it.
Yeah. Like it's not. It doesn't do that. Whereas games now, when they put politics into their games, it is literally, if you do not agree with us, you're a knobhead. You are scum. You shouldn't be allowed to do this. And there's the difference.
Oh yeah, when it's.
There's nothing wrong with having politics in games.
Yeah, oh no, there isn't anything. It's why I hesitate to call this sort of stuff as actual politics, because it's not.
It's not real politics.
Like the whole, also part of the problem is the way politics, especially in the UK and the US at the moment, where it's this zero-sum game, and it's like, no, politics is about getting the best. It's the ultimate art of compromise. Debating your opinion and position against someone who is not of your opinion and position, and trying to get the best of both. Like, if you come across with someone else, and instead of getting 100% of what you get, but get 75% of what you want, and the opposition gets 75% of what they want, what you get is a net 150 fucking percent. Yeah. It's not a zero-sum game. Stop being a zero-sum game. And I think YouTube and Twitch has been a big problem with this. Because you see streamers like Destiny and it's all shouting with no actual substance.
It's not even that. It's not that. It's the fact that,
I know it's not actual shouting.
No.
But
I'm not saying that. Like what? So like you see them and they come in, and the younger generation sees them, and people like Destiny, they don't treat a debate like you just said. They treat debate like it's some sort of combat fucking sport.
Oh yeah,
where they have to win no matter what.
It's a zero-sum game to them. They either win or they lose, and it's like, no, Politics is not about that, because politics is
well, it's even just a debate.
A
isn't
debate.
That?
Yeah, a debate is you going up against someone else who is of an opinion, different opinion or stance.
Oh, what the fuck are they called? There's that one fucking podcast which is so stupid. It's like this one dude and then a load of girls, like OnlyFans lasses.
Oh god, yeah,
like
I know what you're talking
them.
about.
Like, it's just like, what are you doing? Like, what is this?
The thing is like, what they will claim to say, oh well, social media is free speech. It's like, no, social media is an echo chamber. And when you only listen, and when you only debate in an echo chamber, you get no opposition.
Yeah, like, you deliberately pick people that you know that you can beat.
Yeah.
Like, which is kind of funny when, especially with Destiny, because Destiny will do something the way he does something good, and then he gets like a big head, and then he goes up against somebody who's way smarter than him in a lot of different ways, and then he'll debate something with him, and he just gets destroyed. It's generally funny to watch.
The opposite scale, GNB.
Yeah.
GNB,
oh my god.
When they put out during the I think it was the nurses' strike.
Yeah.
They put on a. I know we've tangented into really dangerous territory here.
I don't care right now.
Right now, we don't give a fuck. They got a striking nurse. I think it is. It was either that or no. I tell a lie. It was a student, because it was the protest. The at the very start of the Israel-Gaza thing. Yeah. There was student protests, and they got a student on. And they were trying. They expected that this was going to be a white walk. We were just going to bombard her with all our stuff, and she was just going to come up with the usual, like, reactionary, not thinking spiel bollocks that would come out from some of them. No, this person knew exactly what she was doing, why she was doing it, and the reasons for it. And she just blew them out of the water, and they had no response to her. It was great. It was fantastic. I love stupid people who think they're smart getting shown up.
By the way, if anybody wants something funny to watch, that happens quite a lot on GMB.
Yeah. I mean, I argue that GMB should not be around because it is not news.
The way I see it, if it is going to be around and I can't do anything about it, I might as well enjoy the funny bits where they do stupid stuff.
And laugh at them. Because we're never laughing with GMB. We are laughing at them.
But I think the problem is that, especially with the comment of, I don't want politics in my games, I think that has been taken
way out of.
I think that line has been taken a little bit too literally. Yeah. I think people like Jim Sterling are very disingenuous when they say, when that comment comes up and they go, oh well, everything's political. I think they know that that's not what that line means, and they're deliberately pulling things.
Yeah. And then on the opposite end,
there are people. The thing is, they're doing the same, but they're doing it as.
Yeah, I'm saying there is the opposite end as well that go, I don't want politics in my game. Now I'm going to go and play Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. Like they know what they're doing. Well, they're pulling this thing and stretching it way too far. I think what people are saying when they went, oh, I don't want politics in my game, is I think what a lot of people want is, like, they don't want it shoved in their fucking face. Right, they don't want this fucking like Dustborn. They don't want this shit just constant. Like, we live in the real world. I don't need more of this.
Yeah, gaming is supposed to be an escape from. It's supposed to be it's an escape from the reality.
That is what people mean. Like, we as human beings, we have an understanding. There is nuance. We understand it.
Yeah.
Like, we're not stupid. Like,
But again, to the people that go on about, like, I want no politics in my game, it's like,
go play Frogger then.
Yeah, go play Frogger, and even then, technically, you could argue there is slight politics in the game because Frogger is can be seen
getting
as
over the road.
Yeah, getting over the road. Like, urban development destroys habitats, which causes.
Go play. Oh, okay, all right then. A game with no politics. Pong. Go play Pong.
Go play Pong. That's probably it. Yeah, that is literally.
Oh no, Snake. You can't not pull a political spin on Snake.
I mean, there is
You
the
can-
whole
you
there
can
is
pull-
whole
you-
there
no,
is
no,
the
no,
whole
you-
thing of
you-
capitalism
You
going
can
too
no,
far
no, no,
to
you,
eat itself.
You can
But-
pull a moral. You
Yes.
can pull a moral from
Yes.
Snake. You cannot pull a agreed. Yeah, but you cannot pull a political statement from Snake.
Like, every game is influenced by the people who make it, and
Yeah,
they will have political views. And like I say, the problem isn't when there is politics in the game, because, like I said, we've just mentioned Metal Gear Solid, we mentioned
I think the other problem is
Cyberpunk 2077.
I think the other problem is that people see what sometimes most of the time is a moral of the story, like Dark Souls is a prime example of this. Dark Souls doesn't have a political message. What it does is it has a moral message of, like, if you cannot embrace change, you are destined to go round in a loop.
Yes.
That is all three Dark Souls. You are destined to go round in a loop and always end up back at the beginning.
Yeah, and the whole thing of, like, the people in charge of trying to keep a hold of that power aren't changing, and therefore it's leading to all this.
Well, it's not really. That's like, because the idea, right? Gwyn basically resets the flame because he's afraid.
Yeah.
That's why he does it. It's not that he's going to lose his power. No, he's afraid of what's going to happen to his Age of Fire.
Yeah, he doesn't want the Age of Fire.
He doesn't want the Age of Fire again because he doesn't want to embrace change.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I know.
But if you can easily look at that at the same time and be like you just said, oh, it's the people at the top not wanting to relinquish power in that. Well, yes, that is part of it, because nobody who at the top wants to fall down at the bottom.
No,
but at the same time,
yeah,
it's very easy to misconstrue a moral to a politic.
Yes,
and it's and that's happening a lot, where somebody's coming in with, like, some sort of, like, a story that has a moral that can easily be swapped out for politics, and people are jumping on it as, like, oh, it's political, it's got a political message, and they're either being like, oh, well, I agree with this part of political. Yes, eating ham sandwiches, that's the moral of the game. You agree with eating ham sandwiches.
Yes.
And it's just like, I'm just tired. I'm kind of tired, because Games Media is also to blame for this.
Yes,
because they do this way too much. Like, they put way too much emphasis on things that being like female main characters is a prime example of this.
Oh God, yes.
Like, there are tons and tons of female.
I mean, wasn't it like a few years ago we had it for every year for like 5 to 10 years running? We need more female. We need more female protagonists, and like the entire gaming community went, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
But the thing is, they still do it now.
Yeah.
Like, but they don't do the we need more female protagonists. What they do is, when a game comes out and it has a female protagonist, they do an article on it and go, this is a step in the right direction for female protagonists. It's just like,
oh, you mean like what
the
the movie journalists went with Captain Marvel?
Yeah. They just do that.
To which everyone turned around and went, excuse me, Ripley from the Alien franchise wants to have a word, please.
And it's just like, I think we're now getting into. I mean, the good thing is that Games Media is. I don't say this as. I don't really mean it as a good thing, but Games Media is dying, and that is Games Media's fault.
Yes,
they've done this to themselves. They have written absolute gobshite articles about things that they know nothing about.
IGN refuses to score anything from the major publishers less than a 7.
Yeah, IGN is just terrible. Games Radar, terrible. Eurogamer are terrible. Like,
I'll be honest, Eurogamer
they're not the worst.
They're not the worst.
They're not that. I mean, it's a very low bar, to be fair.
It is a very low.
It's a very low bar. Like, I'm pretty sure we at this point we need James Cameron to raise the bar. And yeah, I think in gaming, especially on a political side, we're going to have to deal with, we as the gamers, we're going to have to deal with this for a while.
Yeah.
Of just people who, one, don't know how to write.
2, jump to everything as political, even when sometimes it's
people not. Jumping to political things when there is no,
or even when there's a small political message, they blow it up to stupid levels, to the point where they claim that's the sole focus of the game, which is a complete lie. And it's not. But
and unfortunately, we're stuck in the middle of it. And the other part is that they apparently the companies and the games media, they just don't like gamers because they will instantly just shit on them.
Yes.
Whenever anything that they like goes terribly wrong, they'll just shit on the fans for no apparent reason. Because that worked for Marvel before Disney bought them.
Clearly, that worked for Disney when they made the movie.
That worked for that's working for DC right now.
Yeah,
yeah.
It worked remarkably well.
Just shit on the fans.
It worked remarkably well for Disney after everyone complained about the Star Wars movie.
I still do not know where this attitude has come from of just like, oh, let's release a shit product and then blame the fans for it being shit.
Because, well, I'll tell you where. It's from the fact that the people at the top cannot take responsibility. And this is in multiple things. This is in
everything.
This is in everything. You look at fucking our previous government. They still can't seem to take responsibility for half the shit that they've done. Same in America, and in the corporate world, I would argue it's even worse. And that's because there's no consequences for those people.
Massive tangent.
Well, it is a massive tangent, but I suppose it's an underlying problem of
all this off Dustborn.
Yeah, but again, it's the whole thing of the people at the top are separated from the actual market they're in. It falls back to that. If they actually had consequences based on the reactions of the market that they're in, half of these people wouldn't probably even be in their jobs right now.
Yeah, that's true.
WotC, for example, would be a completely different company, and Dungeons and Dragons wouldn't be in the mess it is now, because WotC wants their because WotC claims they don't monetize the Dungeons and Dragons player base enough. Fuck off. Go fuck yourself.
Well, no. Arguably, you could look at that and you go, well, no, you don't. But that's your own fault. You're not making enough product.
You're not making... Yeah, no, but the thing is, though, they don't... When the people go on about that, they go on about, well, we don't have enough subscribers and we don't have enough...
I know that's what they mean. But, the argument to that is, well, you're right, you don't monetize this enough. But if you...
give us what we want.
If you made models, if you made maps... If you made other things,
scenery.
If you made scenery,
dice.
You are Hasbro. You're owned by Hasbro. You can make these things. Just make them, and people people will buy them. This
terrain.
Make terrain. Make dice. Make models.
There is a reason why. There is a reason why you search on Amazon, you can find an absolute fuck ton of just go Dungeons and Dragons models, and you will find an absolute fuck ton. I mean, granted, the paid advertisement slots at the very top of the D&D movie because Hasbro are perfectly fine spending billions, if not millions, of dollars on advertising, but not actually making the product. Fuck that. I mean, hell, what's even better is... not better, but what makes even less sense is that they had a deal with a manufacturer who made cards. Do you know what those cards are? They were spell cards. They would make for all the classes, so Druid, Wizard, all that sort of stuff. They fucked them over.
Yeah, that sounds
Hasbro
right.
fucked them over. Of course, that company goes, well, fuck you. We're not working with you anymore.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And the same with the game industry. The game industry is just full of people who have no fucking clue. And when I say the game industry, I'm on about the AAA game industry because it's publishers mostly. But there are some developers that are just like this that have no fucking clue of the market they're in. They have no idea. Prime example, Concord. 8 years. Anyone involved in the market would have told you in 8 years' time what is popular now will not be popular. Anyone could have told you that. But these people at the very top, who are the ones that make the decisions and then take very, very, very big umbrage when someone goes round and tells them no. Your idea is dumb. These are the people that make the decisions. These are the people that, like, they are either the ones that make the decision or haven't got the fucking spine.
Do you reckon they just hide people from Blizzard?
No, well, technically, possibly, yes, but they either, right, the people who make the decisions either have, or fucking have no idea in the whole making and producing of a game, or they haven't got the spine to turn around to investors and say, no, your idea is fucking stupid, and here's why. Yeah. Because, let's all be honest, while we all pointed and laughed at the Capcom shareholder meeting, I highly doubt Capcom are unique in those decisions. I guarantee you.
I think
Warner Brothers, the shareholder meeting, someone literally went, "Can we have a Destiny but with Arkham?" With DC.
I think Capcom are unique in the sense that they seem to be the only company where the people below who go to the shareholders and go, no.
Well, no. The thing is, what they do is they give them the political speak. Of like, yes, your thing is very interesting. We will look at it and we will take your advice in.
Oh no! I think I know what they do. Right? So they go in and they go, oh, you want that? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we could do that. But you see, it takes time.
No. The thing is,
and money. Right. You know that thing that you don't want to spend, money, to do that.
Right. The thing is that the transcript we all laughed at. Like I've read the full, well, not the full thing, but I've read some of the responses from the Capcom, like, not the CEO, but the Capcom heads, and it's the usual thing. The political speak of like, we sound like we're taking you on board your thing, but when we leave this room, we are going to literally take your ideas and throw it in the bin. That is literally the political speak of those responses, and I love it because it's of all the people that deserve to have that sort of stuff spoken to them, it is the absolutely clueless shareholders who, just because they've invested some money, think they can then dictate how a game is made. Yes. But yeah, again, it's like it's that is the whole problem with the gaming industry at the moment. Like, through their own decisions, games are extremely expensive now because of this fucking high fidelity bullshit that gamers have not asked for. Have some gamers? Yes, they're called snobs.
Well, it's not just that.
They're called snobs, and no one really likes them.
It's not just that. It's
take the whole PC Master Race meme and notch it up to a unbearable level, and they're the people that look at that keep going on about the whole fidelity is everything thing. Yeah, that is them.
I think
no one should listen to them.
And
another thing, that is why they jump onto every bandwagon hoping to catch a slice of that pie, when anyone involved in the business who actually understands the business will tell them, by the time this game comes out, that pie will have all been it.
Yeah. It's like, I don't understand why Sony are so fucking convicted onto... Convicted in the word?
Set on.
Yeah. Why they're so set on releasing a live service game.
They have one. It's called Destiny. I mean, granted, Destiny at the moment is a bit in a bit of a limbo.
What I'm saying is, like, they're so set on releasing their own live service game. Like, but I'm just like... You've got a good model with what you're doing with your single player cinematic games. Nobody else is doing them.
Yeah, and they're releasing good and they're good games.
And they're good.
God of War, Spider-Man.
Look, everyone's got their own thing. You've got your cinematic single player action games.
Microsoft has calling their own game.
Nintendo has the cutesy family stuff. Xbox has nothing.
Xbox has basically undermining their entire product to try and sell Game Pass.
Yeah, has a live service model, not live service, live streaming model, because for some bizarre reason they think they're Netflix.
Except now it's really starting to hurt them.
Valve have Steam. Epic have Fortnite. You need to do your own thing. This is another thing that I don't understand with things. Like, I get it, like, we want a piece of that pie.
Well, that's a big shiny pie we want.
But if you haven't got anything in the oven to get it to by the time it comes out, like you said, it's gone.
because again, through the fact that there is this unrealistic demand for high fidelity, it takes time to develop the game. So it's going to come out too late.
Yeah.
Like if Concord came out a year after Overwatch 1, it probably would have done better.
Yeah.
But
even 2 years, 3 years at most.
Yeah.
It probably would have done a little bit better than this. But it's just like, ugh. All this from Dustborn. See, this is how bad Dustborn is.
Yeah. It derails our chats even more than usual. Wow, that was a tangent. We shall now get back on track.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the final thing.
I mean, let's all be honest, right? Dustborn, from what I've been told, it's a bad game.
It's just a bad game.
It's a bad game.
It's a bad game that's been done by people.
You can disregard the political stuff. I can honestly say, based on what you've told me and what I've seen, the main character is just not likable, and you can't do that in a game. Like, it is one of the cardinal sins. You can't make a character no one likes, because that is the person the player is playing as for the game.
Right, we're going to move on now because there was a Nintendo Direct.
Yes, there was.
I don't think we're going to go through the entire list. Just
the big pointers.
Right. Okay. Let's go through. Yes. Okay. So Yakuza Kiwami. So the
prequel.
No, because that's Yakuza.
Oh
0.
yeah, Yakuza 1.
It's the remaster of
Yakuza 1.
Yakuza 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's coming to Switch.
I'm like, how?
They had Dragon's Dogma works on Switch. If Dragon's Dogma can work on Switch, Yakuza Kiwami can.
Technically, Doom works on Switch, so yeah. I mean, granted, that's because it are just magicians, but
they announced that they're having a summer sale. It's fine. A new Rune Factory. So Rune Factory fans, new one.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Rune Factory, so I cannot tell you a single thing of what I saw. The Legends of Heroes Tales in the Sky remake
is getting a remaster.
No, it's a remake.
Remake. Okay, so from the ground up.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, what difference were they going to do to it, though? Because all the Tales games play similar-ish anyway, so I don't know. Anyway.
Trails. You mean Trails?
Oh, I said Tales, didn't I? Trials. Yeah,
Trials. I said Trails. No, that is Trails. Yeah, Trails.
Yeah, I said Trials. Trails, whatever.
Castlevania Diminished Collection. So a load of
Castlevania games. That's very nice.
I do not know what Suikoden 1 or 2 is, but they're getting a remaster. We did see it, but I was just like, I do not know what this is.
I think they're like old school JRPGs.
Probably.
To which, as a fan of them, I'm like, cool, something to look at. So
we've got Capcom Fighting Collection 2, which is arriving next year, which is basically the Marvel vs. SNK series.
No, the Capcom vs. SNK.
Capcom vs. SNK. I said Marvel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Versus SNK.
However, speaking of Marvel vs. Capcom,
they announced the release date of the digital version, which is this month.
Yes,
September 19th.
Yeah, September 3rd.
And then the physical is out in November.
Yes.
I think November 25th.
Yes.
So, yeah. Good stuff.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
More Five Nights at Freddy's is coming to the Switch. Help Wanted 2 and Security Breach.
Okay.
It's coming to the Switch. My Sims has been officially revealed. It basically just looks like a cutesy version of Sims.
Yes.
That's fine. This was the big one for me. Tales of Grace's F is getting a remaster. It's coming to Switch in January. It's probably going to show up on the PlayStation and Xbox.
Yes.
As they all do. But this was my first Tales game.
Yes, it was.
And I fucking love this game. I'm so happy it's getting a release. So yeah, I'm going to be getting that one. The card game Balatro.
Yes, they're getting
The Witcher, Vampire Survivors, Among Us.
Yeah, Among Us, and a couple others as well. Skins, basically, so like the kings, queens, the diamonds, and all that.
We got another trailer for that Never, which is that cutesy fox game where
we all know
the
we're gonna
wolf deer thing's gonna die,
and we're gonna cry.
And we're gonna cry. Civilization 7 is coming to the Switch
at launch as well.
At launch, yeah. I'm
like, what the hell?
Power Wash Simulator is getting a Shrek DLC sort of thing. that was shown. Sea of Stars is getting a DLC. This actually surprised me. I really like Sea of Stars. I think it's really good. Throes of the Watchmaker.
It shows that it was successful, though.
Yes, it was. It's very good.
I'm happy that it's doing well. It's a very, very good game.
They showed gameplay of Dragon Quest III, the HD 2D remake that's coming.
Yes, it looks pretty. It looks very pretty.
The new Atelier. If you don't know what they are, that's the Alchemist of whatever.
Yeah.
The Atelier Riser was the last free games, and they basically saved the company.
Yeah.
From
they
going
did really,
under.
really well.
Because Fic 5 saves lives.
Yes, they do.
It's just the truth.
It is.
Okay. But they've shown off the new one, which is Atelier Umir, the Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land.
Imagine trying to say that when you're drunk.
I know, Jesus Christ! I think that's the longest name they've ever had. Jesus.
Probably is, yeah.
Fitness Boxing Free was announced.
I think it must be doing well for it to get a third game.
SpongeBob, Patrick Star is getting his own game.
To be honest, I'm surprised that it's took him this long for him to get his own game. The memes for him alone are amazing.
Goat Simulator 3 is now available. That was revealed. Because the Goat Simulator will never die.
No.
It's just always going to follow us.
No, it just will never go away. It's here forever.
Star Overdrive was one of the big reveals. This is a new game. It was like Breath of the Wild in space.
Breath of the Wild in space with a hoverboard.
Yeah, with a hoverboard.
It's
got a unique art style.
It does.
I quite liked it.
It is very pretty as well.
A little bit too, unfortunately for me, and this is just due to the fact that I cannot stand them, deserty.
Yes.
A little bit too much desert for my liking.
Yes.
But you never know. I saw the Dune MMO game that they showed off of the thing, and I literally looked at that and went, "It's in a desert. It's in a desert." No.
Which, it's Dune. It's the entire planet.
It is a desert. I'm fucking sick. I'm sick and tired of deserts, man. I didn't know. I can't do them. Tetris is celebrating 40 years, and it's got a big collection.
Yes, a whole bunch of different Tetris games that have come out on Nintendo systems and other things. Mm-hmm. They're doing a special event for Tetris 99 as well. It's fun to play Tetris 99. I get bodied constantly.
Yeah,
it's not fun when that happens.
Pizza Tower is also coming to Nintendo Switch.
Which, considering Pizza Tower is very Wario Land, but like extreme.
Yeah,
Wario Land. If you had an extreme Wario Land game, then I'm not surprised it's coming out on the Switch.
Metal Slug Tactics got a new trailer.
Yes.
This actually looks good.
It does look really good. I do like my isometric tactical games, so that might be fun.
On Your Tail is also coming. I have no idea what this is. I saw the trailer for this and I was like, I have no idea what I'm looking at. I'm not going to lie to you. No idea. Cruiseneer is a tasty roguelike dungeon crawler.
Ooh. So a bit like the anime. It is where it's a dungeon. It's like a dungeon.
Oh, Delicious Dungeon.
Yeah,
that's actually pretty good. That.
Yeah, it is. I know.
Europa is getting a release date and a demo. Yeah. So that Europa is coming out on October 11th, and it's also got a demo that's out now, so you can try it out. More Shovel Knight.
Yes.
I generally didn't think they could do more with Shovel Knight, but apparently they can.
Apparently they can. I mean, I'm not complaining. Shovel Knight is a great game.
Pico Park 2.
Now that is streaming material.
Yes.
Pure streaming material.
Yes. Wobbly Life. That was one of those games that we looked at and I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Peglin.
Peglin has launched on Nintendo Switch as well. Date Everything is announced for October.
I mean, I'm surprised it took them that long to have a visual novel dating game which allowed you to date every single piece of furniture in your house. But now we got one. It's coming out soon.
More Souls was announced. That was the... I mean, it looks good, but weird at the same time. Like Enter the Gungeon sort of stuff. But I think that's about it.
Yeah. It was a good one, actually.
Yeah, it was alright.
The big one was obviously the Capcom.
Yeah.
And a couple of other announcements which were nice. But
I
that was
think
about it. Yeah.
I think we'll end there. Okay, I do hope you've enjoyed this chat. Sorry about the very long tangent into the politics, but yeah. Anyway, we'll catch you in the next one. Bye now.
Toodles.